Welcome to the Psychology and Physical Training channel, The Nature and Formation of Groups. Why do people form groups? What compels us to seek the companionship and cooperation of others? These are some of the questions we'll be exploring today as we delve into the fascinating world of social psychology, specifically looking at the nature and formation of groups. Groups are an integral part of human life. From the earliest hunter-gatherer societies to today's complex, interconnected world, we have always sought the company and cooperation of others. This is not just a random occurrence. There are several reasons why we form groups. First, we form groups around shared interests. Whether it's a book club, a sports team, or a professional association, shared interests provide a common ground that brings us together and keeps us connected. Second, groups often form around common goals. This could be anything from a group of students working on a class project, to a team of scientists collaborating on research, to a committee planning a community event. The shared goal provides a focus and a purpose for the group. Third, and perhaps most fundamentally, groups form for survival. This harks back to our earliest ancestors who banded together for protection and resource sharing. Today, this might translate into forming social networks for emotional support or professional advancement. Now, let's consider the process of group formation. There are four main stages: forming, storming, norming, and performing. In the forming stage, the group comes together and members get to know each other. During the storming stage, conflicts may arise as individuals start to assert their ideas and perspectives. In the norming stage, the group starts to settle into a rhythm, establishing norms and roles. Finally, in the performing stage, the group is functioning smoothly, working towards its shared goals. It's important to note that these stages are not necessarily linear. Groups can cycle through these stages multiple times as they evolve and face new challenges. So, the nature and formation of groups is a complex process, influenced by various factors and stages. But at its core, it's about people coming together, finding common ground, and working towards shared goals. It's about our innate human need for connection, cooperation, and community. The structure of a group. Now that we understand why and how groups form, what keeps them structured and functioning? Let's dive right into the structure of a group. Picture a group as a building, and like any building, it requires a solid foundation and a well-planned layout to remain standing and serve its purpose. The structure of a group is built on three key concepts: roles, norms, and status. Roles are like the different rooms in our building. Each member of the group assumes a role, just as each room in a building serves a specific function. The roles that individuals play can vary widely, from the leader who guides the group's direction, to the mediator who resolves conflicts, to the motivator who keeps morale high. Each role is crucial to the group's operation, ensuring that all necessary tasks are covered. Next, we have norms. These are the unwritten rules or expectations that guide behavior within the group. They're like the building's blueprint, providing a guide for how to navigate the space. Norms dictate what is considered acceptable or unacceptable behavior, helping to maintain order and predictability. They're established over time through shared experiences and interactions, and they play a vital role in creating a sense of identity and belonging within the group. Lastly, there's status. Think of this as the hierarchy within the building, determining who has access to which rooms. In a group, status refers to the relative social, professional, or other standing of its members. It influences who has the power to make decisions and whose voice carries most weight. Status can be formal, like a manager in a company, or informal, based on respect or expertise. All these elements, roles, norms, and status, work together to create the structure of a group. They provide stability and order, allowing the group to function effectively and achieve its goals. They also contribute to the cohesion of the group, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose among its members. Therefore, the structure of a group is a dynamic system of roles, norms, and status that ensures its operation and survival. Types of groups. Groups come in many shapes and sizes, each with its unique dynamics and complexities. But what are the main types of groups in social psychology? Let's dive right into it. First off, we have primary and secondary groups. Primary groups are those intimate, close-knit groups that are often long-term. Think of your family or your close circle of friends. You share personal experiences, care deeply for each other, and have strong emotional ties. On the other hand, secondary groups are larger and more impersonal. These are short-term relationships that are often goal-oriented. Your work colleagues or members of a club you're part of, those are examples of secondary groups. Next up, we have in-groups and out-groups. The term in-group refers to the group that an individual identifies with or feels a sense of belonging to. This could be based on shared interests, values, or experiences. The out-group, on the other hand, is a group that an individual does not identify with or feel a part of. It's the them in the us versus them scenario. For instance, sports fans often consider other fans of their favorite team as the in-group and fans of rival teams as the out-group. Finally, we have reference and peer groups. Reference groups are those that we look up to and use as a standard for self-evaluation. They help shape our behavior, attitudes, and values. This could be a successful entrepreneur you admire or a favorite celebrity. Peer groups, meanwhile, are made up of individuals who are similar in age, social status, and interests. They provide a sense of belonging and are crucial in shaping our identity, particularly during adolescence. So, whether it's the family we're born into, the teams we cheer for, the role models we look up to, or the friends we hang out with, groups play a significant role in shaping our social world. Thus, understanding the types of groups helps us appreciate the diversity and complexity of social interactions. Groups in practice. We've talked about the theory of groups, but how do these concepts apply in real-life situations? Let's dive into some practical examples to illustrate this. Consider a high school classroom. This is a formal group formed with a specific purpose: education. The group structure is clear. The teacher, the leader, holds the power and dictates the flow of information, while the students, the followers, absorb and utilize this knowledge. The nature of this group is instrumental. It exists to fulfill an educational goal. Now, within this classroom, informal groups often emerge. Friends form study groups, a type of task-oriented group, to help each other understand complex concepts. These groups are dynamic, their structure often changing based on the task at hand and the skills of the group members. Let's shift our focus to a work setting. A corporation is a formal group with a clear structure. It's hierarchical, with the CEO at the top, managers in the middle, and employees at the bottom. This structure allows for efficient decision-making and task delegation. Within this corporation, there might be project teams, another type of task-oriented group where people come together to achieve specific goals. Social settings also give rise to various types of groups. Take a book club, for example. It's an interest group that forms around a shared passion for literature. The nature of this group is usually relational, with members bonding over shared interests and experiences. The structure can be either egalitarian, where all members have equal say, or hierarchical, with a group leader guiding discussions. From these examples, we can see how the theories of group nature, formation, and structure apply to everyday contexts. These concepts help us understand why groups form, how they operate, and the roles we play within them. They also shed light on the dynamics within different types of groups, from task-oriented teams at work to interest groups in social settings. In essence, the theory of groups becomes a practical tool for understanding and navigating the social world. Recap. We've covered a lot today, so let's take a moment to summarize. We started off by examining the nature and formation of groups. We learned that groups are an essential part of human life, influencing our behavior, our identity, and our decision-making processes. We discovered that groups form through a variety of mechanisms, including shared interests, common goals, or simply through proximity. And we found that these formations often follow predictable patterns, providing a fascinating insight into the social fabric that binds us together. Next, we delved into the structure of a group. We explored the roles and statuses that individuals can take on within a group, and how these roles can impact the functioning and success of the group as a whole. We talked about how leadership emerges and the different styles of leadership that can shape a group's dynamics. We also discussed the concept of norms and how they can silently guide a group's behavior and expectations. We then moved on to discuss the different types of groups. From formal to informal, primary to secondary, in-groups to out-groups, each type of group has its own unique characteristics and dynamics. We learned how these different types of groups can impact our sense of identity, our behavior, and our perceptions of others. Finally, we looked at how these concepts play out in real-world situations, giving us a deeper understanding of the complexity and richness of social interactions and human behavior. But remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to explore, to question, to understand. Social psychology is a field that's constantly evolving, constantly revealing new layers of insight into how we interact, how we form groups, and how these groups shape us in return. Remember, understanding groups in social psychology provides valuable insights into human behavior and social dynamics. So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. And if you like this video, do not forget to subscribe and follow to the Psychology and Physical Training channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.